Hi and welcome to another junior algebra video. We're talking algebraic powers and this is the second part to rule number 3. Right, let's simplify this expression. Inside brackets we have 5 times x squared and we're raising that all to the power of 3. Right, the power of 3 we know means to repeat multiplication 3 times. So we're going to take what's inside the brackets, 5x squared, and multiply it by itself 3 times. 5x squared times 5x squared times 5x squared. Right, now we can do our coefficients. So let's multiply 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. So we can write our new coefficient of 125 out the front. Now we can look at the powers or the variables, and we have x squared times x squared times x squared. This is just rule number 1. When we have x squared times x squared times x squared, we just go 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. And so we have x to the power of 6. So we end up with our answer of 125 times x to the power of 6. Now, let's see if we can show you a slightly quicker way that may help you solve this without doing it that long way. The 5 gets raised to the power of 3. So 5 times 5 times 5 gave us 125. Be careful, there's still some students that go 5 to the power of 3 is 15 because they just go 5 times 3 is 15, which is not correct. 5 to the power of 3 is 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. And then we can go back to the last video and remember the rule. The trick when we see brackets is to times the powers. So we can times the powers to get 2 times 3 is 6, but we have to go 5 to the power of 3 to get a coefficient of 125. Right, this is a little tricky, this rule, and it catches a lot of students, even in the higher senior levels. Students still making mistakes on this kind of stuff. So here's example 2. Let's see if you can follow this one. So we're going to take 2 and raise it to the power of 4. 2 to the power of 4. Now that means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 16. Don't go 2 times 4 is 8. That's wrong. So our coefficient is 16. Now we can turn our attention to the variable and we can multiply the powers. That's the little rule we learned in rule number 3. And we can go 3 times 4 is 12, so we have d to the power of 12. So our answer is 16 times d to the power of 12. Right, what about this tricky one here? Simplify inside brackets, negative 3 times y to the power of 10 all squared. Well, we're going to go negative 3 to the power of 2. Now, power of 2 is squaring it, which is timesing it by itself. So negative 3 squared is negative 3 times negative 3. Two negatives make a positive. So negative 3 times negative 3 makes 9. So our coefficient is 9. So we write 9 down. Now we can look at our variables and we can take our powers 2 and 10 and multiply. 10 times 2 is 20. So we have y to the power of 20. So our answer is 9 times y to the power of 20. Awesome. Thanks for watching.